Black Bear Monster. Even demons have ambitions. The 10th and 11th trials of the 81 Calamities. Protagonist: Black Bear. Weapon: Black Spear. Characteristics: exceptionally powerful, can match Sun Wukong. Despite being a demon, he avoids evil and has a sense of elegance. Weaknesses: greedy and thieving. On Blackwind Mountain in Blackwind Cave lives the Black Bear Monster. The Black Bear Monster is a burly figure covered in coarse, dark bristles. Even in human form, he appears as a rough, sun-beaten laborer. However, beneath his wild exterior, he harbors a gentle heart. He keeps his cave immaculately clean and has hung a couplet at the entrance. Quietly hidden in the deep mountains, free from worldly concerns, peacefully living in a fairy cave, delighting in simplicity. The entire Blackwind Mountain is beautifully maintained with birds singing and flowers blooming. The Black Bear Monster has even changed his diet, becoming a vegetarian devoted to spiritual practice, and never touching meat. Generally, when a demon inhabits a region, the local people often face great misfortune and risk being captured as snacks. However, the Black Bear Monster is an exception. He never harms people, and has even become good friends with Elder Jinchi of the nearby Guanyin Zen Temple. They frequently meditate together, discuss spiritual insights, and enjoy refined tea sessions. Elder Jinchi is no ordinary person. He's lived over 270 years and is passionate about collecting kasayas, making him a true kasaya enthusiast. Ironically, this very hobby led to his demise. One day, as Tang Seng and his disciples passed by the Guanyin Zen Temple, Tang Seng knocked on the door and asked the gatekeeper monk if they could stay the night. The monk, recognizing them as fellow travelers, agreed readily. However, upon glancing behind Tang Seng, he was startled and his hair stood on end, seeing a fierce-faced monkey leading a horse, looking quite menacing. The gatekeeper monk couldn't help but ask Tang Seng, "What exactly is this thing you've brought with you?" Tang Seng quickly covered the monk's mouth and said, "Be careful not to let him hear you. That's my disciple, and his temper isn't very good." The gatekeeper monk still couldn't hold back and whispered, "This disciple doesn't look human at all. Why did you take him in?" Tang Seng replied with a smile, "Ugly as he is, he's very useful." When they entered the temple, Elder Jinchi received Tang Seng and his disciples. While chatting with Tang Seng, he asked, "I've heard that the Tang dynasty is rich in treasures. May I ask what valuable items you have brought with you?" Tang Seng humbly replied, "We don't have any treasures with us." Upon hearing this, Monkey King was displeased and said, "Master, who says we have no treasures? Isn't your kasaya a treasure?" The monks in the temple burst into laughter upon hearing this. They said, "Our Elder Jinchi is the top kasaya collector in the world. No matter how precious your kasaya is, it's not rare here." Sun Wukong, who loved to show off, took out the precious kasaya given to Tang Seng by Guanyin. Seeing the kasaya, Elder Jinchi felt that his own collection of about 800 kasayas was like old rags in comparison. Overcome with envy and jealousy, he asked to borrow the kasaya for the night to examine it closely. Although Tang Seng was worried about losing the kasaya and was hesitant to lend it, Sun Wukong reassured him casually, saying, "Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on it." Elder Jinchi, after taking the kasaya to his room to admire it, grew more and more fond of it. However, knowing that such a prized item belonged to someone else and that he could only enjoy it briefly, he felt deeply unsettled and even cried. Seeing this, one of his disciples suggested a ruthless plan: set a fire at night to kill Tang Seng and seize the kasaya for themselves. Elder Jinchi agreed to the disciple's plan, and sent him to set fire to where Tang Seng and his party were staying that night. Thus Tang Seng encountered the 10th trial on the journey to the west, the night of the fire. Fortunately, Sun Wukong was quick to uncover Elder Jinchi's evil scheme. Instead of exposing it immediately, he borrowed a magical item called the Fire-Preventing Shield from the Heavenly King Guangmu. Sun Wukong used the shield to protect Tang Seng's lodging, allowing the fire to burn freely. As a result, Tang Seng remained unharmed while the entire Guanyin Zen Temple was reduced to ashes. When Elder Jinchi's wrongdoing was exposed, He was so ashamed that he ended up committing suicide by smashing his head against a wall. That night, while the black bear monster was sleeping in his cave, he was suddenly awakened by a red glow at the cave entrance. He thought, "I've only been asleep for a little while, how can it be morning already?" Stretching lazily, he walked out of the cave and saw that it wasn't dawn, but a massive fire engulfing the Xuanzang temple. The flames reached the sky, painting the whole area in a bright red. The black bear monster thought, "Since I'm friends with Elder Jinchi, I can't just stand by while his place is on fire." He rushed to the Xuanzang temple and went straight to Elder Jinchi's quarters. At that moment, Elder Jinchi was outside, directing his disciples to set the fire. The black bear monster, seeing that Elder Jinchi was not around, was about to leave when he noticed Xuanzang's precious kasaya. The black bear monster, recognizing the valuable kasaya as a Buddhist treasure, decided to steal it. This became the 11th trial on the journey to the west, the loss of the kasaya. The most dangerous food, Sun Wukong. Black bear monster took the precious kasaya back to Black Wind Cave, feeling very pleased and eager to show off to his friends. Early the next morning, he went to find his two friends, the white snake demon and the gray wolf demon, to invite them to admire the kasaya. As the three demons were walking along, discussing the kasaya, a short monkey-like figure wielding a golden rod suddenly appeared and shouted, "So it was you who stole my robe? Take this, a strike from my staff." Black bear monster and gray wolf demon reacted quickly and ran away, leaving only the white snake demon behind, who couldn't escape fast enough. She was struck dead by the golden rod. The one who killed her was none other than Sun Wukong. After the fire at the Xuanzang temple, everyone discovered that the robe was missing. Xuanzang was furious and scolded Sun Wukong, "You filthy monkey, didn't you say you would take responsibility if the kasaya was lost? Now it's truly gone. What are we going to do?" Sun Wukong knew he had done something wrong and quickly said to Xuanzang, I'll go look for it." He learned that there were demons in the nearby Black Wind Cave, so he went straight there. On the way, he happened to encounter Black Bear Monster and the other two, and a fierce battle ensued. Black Bear Monster ran fast and quickly returned to Black Wind Cave, ordering his minions to shut the cave doors. Soon after, Sun Wukong's voice could be heard from outside, cursing loudly. He insulted Black Bear Monster, saying that he was so black he looked like someone who dug coal or painted walls. Sun Wukong threatened to kill every last demon in the cave if the kasaya wasn't returned. Black Bear Monster, enraged, opened the door and began to argue with Sun Wukong, saying, "You Sun, what are you being so arrogant for? You were just a stable keeper. It's said that one shouldn't hit the face or expose someone's weaknesses when arguing." Sun Wukong had once served as a stable keeper in heaven, which was his biggest blemish and the most hated topic. Hearing it, he immediately grabbed his iron rod and started to fight. Black Bear Monster fought with Sun Wukong for over 10 rounds. On the surface it seemed like an evenly matched battle, but Black Bear Monster knew that if the fight continued, he might not stand a chance against the short monkey. He shouted, "Hey Sun, it's already noon, time for lunch. Let me finish eating before we continue." With that, he quickly ran back into Black Wind Cave. Black Bear Monster hid in the cave, eating and drinking heartily, and refused to continue fighting with Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong tried many methods to retrieve the stolen kasaya, but the monster proved to be quite skilled, making it difficult to deal with him. Left with no other options, Sun Wukong had no choice but to seek help from Guanyin Bodhisattva in the southern sea. As Sun Wukong and Guanyin made their way to Black Wind Cave, they encountered Grey Wolf Monster along the way. At that moment, Grey Wolf Monster was disguised as a Taoist priest, planning to visit Black Bear Monster's cave to see the kasaya. With his keen eyes, Sun Wukong immediately recognized him as Black Bear Monster's ally, and struck him with a stick without hesitation, killing him on the spot. Guanyin was very angry and said, "Monkey, he isn't Black Bear Monster. Why did you hit him?" Sun Wukong replied, "You don't understand, this guy is in cahoots with Black Bear Monster. He was definitely on his way to meet him." The Bodhisattva fell silent. Sun Wukong, looking at the dead Grey Wolf Monster, suddenly had an idea. He turned to the bodhisattva and said, "I have a plan to subdue that black bear monster without much effort." The bodhisattva asked, "What's your plan?" Sun Wukong said, "You transform into this gray wolf monster and pretend to deliver an elixir to the black bear monster. I'll disguise myself as the elixir. Once he swallows me, I'll wreak havoc inside his body, breaking his will to fight from within." Guanyin Bodhisattva was a bit displeased and said, "I am a revered bodhisattva and you're asking me to disguise myself as a monster. Isn't that going a bit too far?" Sun Wukong, feeling justified, said, "If you don't want to retrieve the Kasaya, then forget it. I'll just return to Flower Fruit Mountain and let Xuanzang handle the demon himself. Let's see how many rounds he can last." Guanyin sighed and said, "You mischievous monkey, your tongue is too sharp. Fine, we'll do it your way." The black bear monster never imagined that the mighty Guanyin Bodhisattva would disguise herself as the gray wolf demon to deceive him. In the end, he fell for Guanyin's trick, and with Sun Wukong wreaking havoc inside his stomach, he had no choice but to surrender. Seeing that the black bear monster hadn't committed any major evil deeds and had only caused trouble out of greed by stealing the Kasaya, Guanyin Bodhisattva said to him, "If you are willing to take refuge in Buddhism, I will let you serve as a mountain deity at the place where I practice. Do you agree?" The black bear monster thought to himself, "If I refuse, Sun Wukong will definitely hit me with his staff. Besides, becoming a local official for the Bodhisattva is a fine job. Only a fool wouldn't surrender." So, he returned the Kasaya to Sun Wukong and followed the Bodhisattva.